All right, India Today's Akshita Nandagopal is right now in UAE, where she's all set to cover the inauguration, a momentous occasion for Hindus in UAE and across, even in India. Akshita, how does it look?
The Prime Minister later today is going to be heading to the BAPS Hindu Mandir to unveil the temple. It's about 30 minutes away from where I am right now, here in the heart of Abu Dhabi. We're actually standing right outside where the Prime Minister is residing. This is the St. Regis Hotel, and it's here that the Prime Minister is currently staying. He's got a packed schedule ahead of him, but let's talk about the BAPS Hindu Mandir and why this moment is so hugely significant for not just India, but for the entire world, because this temple is a temple of harmony. It's beyond just a Hindu temple because, you know, the messaging all across, and I visited this temple 2 days ago, the messaging all across, whether it's a wall of harmony as soon as you enter the temple, or the fact that you've got carvings of camels, of sheikhs in this temple to kind of show you what really what it's taken to bring this temple together in a Muslim nation, in the United Arab Emirates. Land has come from a Muslim king, of course, from a Muslim ruler. You had a Christian Catholic who's the main architect, a Parsi firm that was involved. The foundational design was by a Buddhist. Nearly 7 lakh people in all have worked on this temple from 2019 to today. Prime Minister Modi will be there at about 6 p.m. India time. That's about 4:30 here. And that's when he's going to be a part of the inauguration of the temple. The consecration ceremony, a word that we're so familiar with after what happened with the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, that's already taking place right now. But the Prime Minister is going to be spending a good amount of time at the BAPS Mandir. He's going to be there for nearly 3 hours to be a part of the entire ceremony.
All right. When is Prime Minister expected, Akshita, at the temple? Tell us a little about the significance of this temple itself. It certainly looks glorious. All right. Akshita, thanks very much for joining us on that. We know I myself got to visit the BAPS Mandir a few weeks earlier. It was just about nearing completion, and it appears today is the grand inauguration where it's fully completed. They've managed to pull off this exceptional construction in a record time. Barely 5 years for that stunning structure of that temple, though approvals were given in a little before 2014 itself. So nearly a decade that they've been mulling over the BAPS temple. It's finally come into reality. Prime Minister Modi, who is in UAE to inaugurate the Middle East's biggest Hindu temple, will be visiting Qatar's Doha after concluding his 2-day visit to UAE. This visit will be aiming at discussing further ways to strengthen overall ties with Qatar. During his visit, Prime Minister will be holding bilateral talks with the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad. This will be Prime Minister's second visit to Qatar. Remember, Qatar has freed 8 former Indian Navy personnel who were sentenced to death after being detained in August 2022 on undeclared grounds. In fact, the release marked a significant diplomatic breakthrough between New Delhi and Doha.
वाकई बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि वापस इंडिया पहुंच गए हम सेफ एंड साउंड और डेफिनेटली ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर श्री मोदी को धन्यवाद करना चाहेंगे कि उनके पर्सनल इंटरवेंशन से ये पॉसिबल हुआ और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ कतार के हिज एक्सेलेंसी द अमीर को कि उन्होंने ये होने दिया एंड बस यही बोलना चाहेंगे थैंक यू वेरी मच
Without the intervention of Prime Minister Modi, it wouldn't be. आज हम आपके सामने खड़े नहीं हो रहे होते अगर इंटरवेंशन नहीं होता at that level, highest level. And especially Government of India, उनके अथक प्रयास से कि वो consistently लगे रहे and we are there in front of you. Thank you.
Same thing. Very thankful to the government and Prime Minister Modi कि हम लोग बाहर आ सके और वापस अपने कंट्री में आ सके. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Let's have 3 cheers for India. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! भारत माता की जय! भारत माता की जय! भारत माता की जय! Thank you.
बस ये कहना चाहेंगे कि ये वाले दिन का हम बहुत दिनों से वेट कर रहे थे और प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी और उनका पर्सनल इंटरवेंशन, उनका इंटरेक्शन और एक और मौका लेना चाहता हूं कि थैंक करूंगा एमीर को कतर के जिनके उनके इंटरेक्शन के कारण आज हम यहां खड़े हैं जिस दिन का हमें बहुत बेसब्री से इंतजार था।
Now, we've all, of course, seen that breakthrough that took place with Qatar that led to the release of these Indian Navy men. And today you're going to have the Prime Minister also visiting Qatar, meeting with the Emir of Qatar. And that's going to be, of course, a significant moment. But as the MEA put it, it was clearly with the intervention of the Prime Minister, due to his leadership, that we've seen this development actually taking place. So it was because of the Prime Minister's direct stepping into this crisis that we've seen the release. It did come as a huge surprise to all of us, of course, because just in December you had their death sentence being commuted, and that itself was a huge breakthrough. And then the news came in, of course, of them being back in India. So there was no clear timeline given of exactly when the breakthrough really happened, but we can confirm for you that while the Prime Minister will be going to Qatar later today, this wasn't a last-minute addition to the plan as a result, perhaps, of what happened with regards to the release of the Navy veterans. It is a planned, scheduled visit, was scheduled much earlier. So the bilateral will take place, where you're going to be seeing a lot more growth in India-Qatar ties, which is a huge deal, considering that you're seeing several breakthroughs here in the UAE as well, whether it's in the economic front, whether it's on trade, education. You're seeing a multifaceted relationship that's been set up here in the UAE. It's similar in Qatar as well, not just indicative, of course, with the Navy veterans release, but when today the two leaders sit down, when Prime Minister Modi sits down with the Emir of Qatar, while there could be a brief conversation about what really happened with regards to the release of the Indian Navy men, in the sense there could be a message of thanks from India to Qatar. But beyond that also, there's going to be a lot of talk about the tangible takeaways, because it sets the stage for what could be another country that has a great relationship with India as a result of Modi diplomacy, the Modi diplomacy method that is being so often talked about right now. But the MEA has essentially confirmed that what we've seen, that big breakthrough of ensuring that our men were back home safe, was a result of the Prime Minister's direct intervention. Now, in what form that was, they're keeping their lips sealed at this point. They're not divulging too many details of what it took to get this breakthrough. But we know that the Prime Minister for the last many months has been in conversation with Qatari authorities, and that's what's resulted in all of them coming back home safe.
All right, one of the ex-naval officers released from Qatar reached his home in Dehradun. India Today spoke to him and his family. Let's have a listen.
ये चीज जो नामुमकिन थी, आज मुमकिन जो हो पाई है, ये हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को उनका श्रेय, श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का और भारत सरकार का मैं बहुत मन से, दिल से उनका धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा। एंड शुक्रगुजार हूँ अमीर का, कतर के अमीर का, जो हमारे भारत सरकार और प्रधानमंत्री जी का उनके जो रिक्वेस्ट या इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहा है, उसके कारण आज हम ये दिन देख पा रहे हैं और आप सबके सामने हम खड़े हैं। मैं और मेरे दोस्त लोग अपने फैमिलीज के साथ ये दिन का बहुत बेसब्री से इंतजार कर रहे थे और आज ये दिन हमें मिल पाया है।
पूरी अयोध्या को एक वो मिला कि रामचंद्र जी जब वापस आए 14 साल से, तो मेरे लिए भी ये 18 मंथ्स इक्वल टू 14 मंथ्स। तो जैसे सारी अयोध्या एक एक्साइटेड उससे भी बढ़ के शायद
मोदी जी ने हमेशा बोला है कि नो इंडियन लेफ्ट बिहाइंड। सो उन्होंने जो प्रॉमिस किया है, ही हैज शोन दैट दे हैव डन दैट। and External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar, he also had said that India will put their complete effort to get our men back, and I'm so grateful and happy that ये हो गया। बीच में we were very upset, but today is a new day and we're very happy कि सब आ गए वापस।